Hi, this is Tyler with FluidityStudio.com, and in this video I'm going to be going off of the Flash Sliding Billboard Ad 2 tutorial that I did and an extension off of the Flash Sliding Billboard Database tutorial that I did, where first one I showed you how to create a Flash Sliding Billboard, and the second one I showed how to connect that to a database and track mouse overs and click-throughs so that you know how well an advertiser's ad is doing. And although the mouse overs and click-throughs are great tracking, I have come up with an even better way of tracking, which isn't on my own that I came up with it. It's based off of a company called iBlaster, now known as MediaMind after they've done some rebranding, but they have been the forefront of this term dwell time, dwell rate. And what it is, it's tracking the amount of time that a user spends on an ad, and an interactive ad, so to speak. Because if it was just a regular flash ad, or a static ad for that matter, that even had a quick animation and that was it, and then it caused you to, you have to click through to find out more information, those aren't worth tracking any dwell time, dwell rate information. But if it's an interactive ad where it causes the user to, say, watch a video or click on different things to do different things like play a game, whatever it might be, that's going to be more interaction time for a user, and that's going to be worth tracking how much time that user spends on an ad. So dwell time, dwell rate, that's basically what it is. And iBlaster, now known as MediaMind, has basically been the forefront of all this. They have coined the phrase. They have started all of this. They've done testing on it. They have major information on how well this actually works and how more beneficial it is to an advertiser versus just getting the regular mouse overs and click-throughs. And they have not supplied any information on how to track this stuff. And my full-time employer wanted to be able to do this because I work in online marketing. So anything that makes us money online, that's what I do. And so this was huge for us to be able to track this information. And I'm going to go over and just show you just a screen capture of what from our database on one particular advertiser that the first one we've actually started tracking this information on since I got this working. So what you're going to see here is the customer, and you're going to see here clicks and mouse overs, and in this particular one that we're putting them in multiple different areas on the website. The news section of the website, this is a newspaper, a local newspaper, so based around news is our biggest deal. This is where we get most of our traffic, is just the main website. But we have niche websites where you'll see some of this other stuff too. But the news it's low. 108 clicks per this many mouse overs is pretty low. But the new tracking that we've set up is really benefiting the client, because here we see that there's been a lot of time in seconds spent on the ad. And in total, this is a conversion here. So this is the actual number that's being tracked from the ad. And then in the database, I'm doing some conversions. So now I know how many seconds, how many minutes were spent on the ad. This is seconds. This is how many minutes are spent. And another conversion to show how many hours are spent on the ad. And then the last conversion is a user average dwell time, which takes the amount of mouse overs and divides that by the amount of, it takes the amount of total seconds, divides that by the mouse overs, and that's how we get an average user spent on the ad. And so this is low, obviously, because we have a lot of mouse overs, and in this case it's an expanding ad that if you mouse over it, mouse off quickly, that still counts as a mouse over. So this is going to be really low because the majority of these people were maybe accidental mouse overs, and so they didn't really spend any time on the ad. It just expanded, went right back, but that still counts. So this is where we get more of an accurate reading. Total time, 5 hours spent on this ad, which it's huge considering that this campaign just started. So when it's over, this time is going to be astronomical, and the advertiser is already extremely happy. And as we give them reports along the way, they're going to know that their ad is doing really well. And there is a little bit of video in their ad which causes users to stay on there more, and which causes them to have better branding with that user, because they're interacting with the ad, they're seeing all this information, and now they're more likely, even if they don't click through, they're more likely to go back later and either go to the advertiser's website directly, or go to their website and check out information, or even go into their store if it's an advertiser that has, like a local store they can visit. So this kind of information is huge. And since iBlaster, now MediaMind, is not offering this information, I wanted to be able to share this with everybody else so that they can use this type of information in their projects or with their companies. So I'm going to show you an example of my database and how this is working. So here I have an ad. These two are not part of the ad. So this first one here, this ID of one, is working with this ad here, and even though it's not Pizza Hut, we'll just ignore that part. So right now we have 37 mouse overs. I have not clicked through. I don't have a reason to, because it's just a test ad. And I have 462 seconds, 7 minutes total. Of course, no hours yet because we've only got 7 minutes. And a total of 12.5 seconds spent on the ad per user. So we're going to go and test this. I'm going to refresh so we get a new mouse over, and our time will start as soon as I mouse over the larger part of this ad. And this one has some video in it. So a user in this case might spend more time on the ad because they're going to watch the full video, and this, I believe, is like a 30-second ad, so they might spend the whole time watching it. So if I mouse over, now my time has started behind the scenes, and if I mouse over the video, I start the video. So now they can sit here and watch the full 30-second video. And once I mouse off, I have an alert right now that's telling me how many seconds. But when it goes live, of course, I would not put that alert in there because I don't want that popping up every time someone mouses off of it. But for our case, we want to see how many seconds, and then we can see that amount of seconds is added into the current number in the database and updates it. So now I mouse off. There's 33 seconds I just spent on the ad. Okay, so I'm going to close that, go back to my analytics page here. I'll refresh. And now I went up to 38 mouse overs, and you see our time just went up, and now we went up to 8 minutes. So an average of now 13 seconds per user spent on the ad. So this information is huge. And since iBlaster, now MediaMind, like I said, is not offering this information, and from what I can tell, no one is offering this information. And I have searched and searched, and as far as I can see, unless there's other companies doing this but using a different phrase for dwell time, and maybe it's interaction time, I don't know what they're using, I can't find anybody that is doing this or giving this information out. So I am going to give you this information, but it will be at a cost. It's a one-time fee of $10, and if you go to my website, I'm providing the link to the purchase page in the notes here on YouTube, and you can go there and purchase it. It's a one-time fee of $10. I'll have a full-length video tutorial in there of how to do this, and I'll also be supplying a zip file with all the files you will need. So you will get everything that is needed to get this going and working. And I'll even throw an extra bit in there, an extra surprise in there for you. This is based around a flash sliding billboard, but I will show you how to do an expanding ad, and I will give you all the files you'll need for that as well. So an extra bonus, an expanding ad, which probably no one else is out there showing how to do as well. So great information, great piece of tracking for you and your advertisers. If this is what you're looking for, then I encourage you, go to my website and pay this small, very small, minimal $10 one-time fee, and you can download this for yourself, and you can have this information to track for yourself. All right, I thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.